Hello and welcome to Bunk Book, the Bunk original where you get to know the podcaster behind your favorite shows. My name is Neil, and our first guest is the most hardworking person in the podcasting world. You have definitely heard him from his many shows, which include Astrology and The Shippers. Among Huhula and host, please welcome Shipper VP. Yay!
Yay! Hello.
Hello.
Hardworking. Can I do,
Yes.
can I react to that? Parang hindi naman. Charot. I mean, I only make it seem like I am. I think
Well,
that's
at
the
one
trick.
point you had like what, 11 shows all running at once.
Hindi naman 11. 3, mga ganon. But like
But you
now, I'm
are
down to
ay.
2. Mm,
But you are one of four hosts of Astrology, which is how most people got to know
yes.
you first. Can you tell us a little bit about what Astrology is about?
Okay, sa astrology, ayun, from its name naman, it's about astrology in general, but we kind of want it na ibang take din siya on human observation based on like what we know or what we find out through astrology. Kasi yung ano nag-start talaga siya dun sa Twitter thing na gusto lang namin mandaot ng tao via their horoscopes. So, yung sama ng ugali namin, dun namin nilabas. Eventually, it became a podcast. So, yeah, it's still about astrology mainly, but it's mostly now about like human observations and personal stories and whatnot.
Totoo. And almost every tweet ng Astrology would go viral before. So like I really remember na parang nagulat ako na, oh my gosh, kilala ko pala sila. Kilala ko pala yung mga charoterang Astrology.
Oo, they're people.
They
Charot.
are people. Now, you are also one of the hosts, one of five hosts of The Shippers. Can you tell us
Mm.
about that show?
Well, yung The Shippers naman is about mostly mga BL content or series, movies minsan. Um, it it just started kasi from us watching BLs together during the pandemic. Tapos parang us being mga critics, quote unquote. Ganon. Tapos bakla pa. Edi, we decided to make a podcast out of it. But yeah, mostly we also kind of cover LGBTQ content. Sometimes we kind of talk about the issues then when something comes up that's worth talking about or yung medyo nagta-touch on sa mga material na we watch. Yun.
Okay. Now, I love all of that. Makes perfect
Mm-hmm.
sense. But this time, explain it to me like I'm 5 years old. Tito
Hala, paano
VP.
yun?
Tito VP, ano po yung BL?
Ano yun? Basta, paglaki mo na.
Sumuko na lang. How would you
Oo.
explain the ship or like badly explain it? How would you
Um,
badly explain the shippers?
yung The Shippers ay tungkol sa mga TV shows and movies that we watch that talk about love in all
Gusto ko yung
forms.
batibot tone, yung ito yung mga shows that we watch. Konting-konti na lang ano na siya, panlasang Pinoy. So
Pwede na.
eto na.
Akala ko pwede na ako mag-apple-apple. Mga ganun.
Pwede, pwede. But the shippers as a show, how did you guys get started? Kasi you said such it was Twitter. But
Mm.
what was the who was the first person who said sige gawa tayong podcast?
Ako.
So ito nga yung one of your 11 shows.
Oo, one of my 1100 shows. Kasi nung time na yun, parang I really gotten used to astrology na parang gumagawa na kami ng podcast. It was self-producing na din. And nung time na yon yung mga kasama kong shippers, si Kevin, si Aaron, si Rai, uh, yun, nanonood lang kami ng mga BL together. Like, it started off of us just tweeting about the BLs that we watch during the pandemic. And this was like sometime after together na medyo talaga
Mm.
nag-boom siya
Sarawat.
conversation-wise. Oo, yung Sarawat 9 na 'yan,
Correct.
ayun. And then parang yun, nanood kami together like your typical Zoom tapos kanya-kanyang play sa YouTube, ganyan. And then naisip namin na parang since madaldal kami after nun, ba't di namin i-record?
Parang banlaw.
Oo, pero nung time na yun parang iniisip pa namin, reaction videos. Pero ang pansin namin, hindi kami ma-react like live. Marami lang kami sat-sat after. So,
Okay.
so eventually parang it made more sense to turn it into a podcast than like a reactor thing. Kasi yun nga, we're not like enthusiastic reactors. Ganyan. Like tataas na yung kilay namin.
Noon, 'di ba? So, it's good that
Mm.
meron kayong differentiator from that genre. I think mostly sa YouTube yung magre-react sila to the trailers or to the episode.
Mm.
Now, if you had to look back at your illustrious career as a shipper, what would be your most memorable moment or maybe like a highlight from your career sa The Shippers?
I think yung highlight nun was yung na ano kami, na mob kami because of something we said.
Oh my gosh, alam ko 'to. But this was on Twitter ba or TikTok? It was one
This
of
was on
them, eh.
Twitter. This was on
Okay.
Twitter. Tas
Bakit ka
parang
nila binabarda? Anong ginawa
hindi
niyo?
kasi we made like a very unsolicited joke about yung pangalan ni New Titipum. Tapos
Oh.
oo. Tapos parang sabi nila, "Ulitin mo nga yung last name," ganyan. Tapos parang sabi ko, "Wag na, 'di naman worth it sabihin." So, like people kind of took it as us going against New. Na parang
Oh.
hindi namin siya sinusuport, gano'n and what not. But the episode kasi ultimately was about Tainu,
Hmm,
yung ship na yun. And, uh, yun, pinag-usapan lang namin like what they went through and during that time parang it didn't seem like they were headed to the BL direction.
mm.
So, sabi namin kung sink or sail, baka sink tong ship na 'to kasi mukhang papunta sila sa individual growth
Oh,
phase nila.
no. And you guys were
So
right, to be fair.
'di ba? Like
Mhm,
individual growth naman sila and then they're back together this year because
mhm.
they have Cherry Magic but then like we were right.
You were right. Yeah, exactly. How did
Yabang,
you
charot.
get past that? Kasi mahirap ma-cancel, especially for a young show at that time.
Yeah, super ano pa lang kami nun, like just a few months old I think, like season 1 pa yun of The Shippers. Um, what kind of motivated us was that we saw yung analytics behind the episode and it's just people forwarding between the intro where I made the new joke and
Oh.
then yung last part where we said sync yung Tainu. Didn't
Oh,
really get like
no.
the entire context of the episode. So when people were hating on it on Twitter, we saw na parang yung pinapakinggan lang nila talaga is very selective. Like
Mm.
obviously you wouldn't get why we
Correct.
said sync. Oo. So parang kami, then they don't know the full context. And then a few people din naman came to us na now are very loyal listeners. Um, 'Di
May
ba? So
tawag ba
kasi
yung fandom niyo? Anong tawag sa kanila?
wala din, mga shippers, mga
Shippers.
shipla, gano'n, oo. Pero yung mga pinaka-active namin yung talaga nag-interact. We call them portside reporters. Oh, ang taray.
I love it. So, binakapan kayo ni na Portside reporters.
Oo, na parang ganito kasi yung buong context niyan and then people were
Mm.
DMing us na parang may point naman or parang nag-ano, you said it parang underhandedly but next time try to say it better na lang, mga gano'n. And we apologized din naman and we
Mm.
truly were sorry about parang those unsolicited remarks, no? But
Nag-iPhone notes apology ka ba? Was this
muntik na, alam mo iniisip namin yun just to make it like super lang, pang-asar lang na pero we did the proper apology.
the
Gano'n.
apology that the situation called for? So that's good.
Mm.
Speaking of reaction, we actually compiled some tweets and reactions about some of your shows. So surprise, I'm gonna read some to you and then tell me what you think about them. Okay?
Sige,
So this
sige.
first one is from Twitter. David the Walrus said, "Tanginang mga taga sa astrology, gising ng 3 a.m. What a bunch of witches." Do you
Bakit?
deny that you are a witch?
I will deny that I am a witch. I'm just gonna say na I am mentally ill. That's why I'm up at 3. I mean, that's more truthful than calling myself a witch.
What
Charot.
was the context kaya? Did you upload at 3 a.m.? Yun ba yun?
Maybe nag-tweet kami ng something or may in-upload kami ng something. Pero feeling ko ano yan, tweet yan. Kasi most of the time we would tweet eh. Or ako din, personally, I would tweet kapag medyo gusto ko magpuyat
Mm.
or pag hindi ako makatulog because yung anxiety ko medyo malala. Ayun.
Speaking of tulog, this next one is from Twitter user Milkin Me. Ang
Mm.
weird, lagi ako nakakatulog or inaantok pag nakikinig ng Astrology podcast. Pagkagising ko, played na or tapos na yung buong episode. Tapos, ulitin ko na naman. What do you feel about this?
Thank you sa extra stream. Kasi inulit mo. Or
Baka
at
this
least
is your ano na, sleeping pill era. Handa ka na ba?
coming for your gig. Charot. Hindi ko alam paano ka makakatulog sa amin. Eh, medyo gaguhan yun.
Totoo,
Or,
very ano, very
oo.
bardagulan, 'di ba?
Oo. But I'm not gonna be offended and think na parang they're calling us boring. Parang ano, kunwari
Totoo.
comforting na lang. Comforting siguro yung boses namin.
'Di
Charot.
ba there are people like that na gusto nila may naririnig na nag-uusap or may mga,
Oo.
sasakyan, ganyan. Yun yung white
Oo.
noise nila.
Yung white noise mo ano, medyo palengke ng Sunday morning.
Try mo yan. I think that's our that's our next big podcast for Bunk.
Pwede.
Oo, brown noise pero ano, palengke sounds. Okay.
Palengke, 'di ba? Hmm.
Punta naman tayo sa Shippers. Sabi, I'm glad that The Shippers is part of my top 5 podcasts. Lumubog man yung pinaka-favorite ship ko since I jumped in to the wonderful world of BL. Read, they're both flying solo. Layag pa rin ang The Shipper. And this is from Cloudy Bazookas.
Oh, si Cloudy. Yeah, I know her. Ano yan, portside reporter yan. Lagi din
Ayan.
may tweet.
Sino yung ship niya na na nag-sync daw?
Ano 'to, Chris Singh 'to. I think
Oh,
if
wow.
I'm correct.
OG.
Oo. Tapos, eh, 'di ba wala na si Singh 'to sa GMM TV.
Mm.
So, medyo ano na.
Pwede pa naman siguro. I think pwede pa siyang mag-guest, 'di ba? Like,
Oo. Saka I think outside of their network activities, they're still friends naman.
oh. Pero
Mm.
OG yan. Parang levelings yan ng Lot Monching, Giant Peep, Crisinto, di ba? Like, levels yan.
Andun yan, eh, oo.
Okay, last one. This is also about the
Hmm.
shippers. This is from Best Boy Kita. To my number one podcast, The Shippers, thank you for keeping me company on Spotify all year long. This is for yung hashtag Spotify Wrapped. Hello, The Shippers PH. Started from I Told Sunset About You and now I'm here. Ang
Oh,
tagal.
oo nga, maaga-aga pa yun into The Shippers, like
Mm.
season 2 ata lang. Alam mo yung kanina yung first part niyan, mata-touch na ako ta's na-realize ko, wait, yan yung preset sa tweet.
Oo. Pero at least tinweet niya, 'di ba? Thank you.
Oo,
Mag-thank you ka
hindi
kay
niya
Best Boy.
binura. Thank you for making us your number one. Wow.
Wow. 'Di ba sa radyo 'yan? Thank you for making us number one.
Number one, oo.
QUBs, your office.
The Office.
Okay. So, in fairness, ang daming love, especially for the shippers. I think that cancels out that little incident. And ang tagal na I Told
Hmm,
Sunset About You, pero go pa rin siya.
go pa rin siya, oo. Nakaka-touch
Now,
naman.
we want to get to know the host behind the microphone. So, can you tell me or can you tell us what do you do in real life? What is your boy job?
So, sabagay kasi uy, pero ano, 'wag na, hindi na akong papaka-gender technical, gano'n.
What is
Um,
your real life job na
my
lang?
real life job, my day job actually, I am, the associate creative director for an events company.
Ooh.
Events agency actually. So parang yung 9 to 5 ko really is just full of creating ideas, giving directions to strategists and parang trying to build experiences for brands, mga ganong bagay.
And
So,
I like that you have worked with a lot of brands. As I understand, merong isang brand particularly na medyo na trauma ka.
Ang
Okay,
specific,
okay
ah.
lang ba sabihin 'to?
Specific yung brands, ah.
Oo,
Alam na
hindi po
alam ko
tayo
yan.
sponsored pero
I wish we were. Pero yeah, so yung brand story ko is about this incident when I was like 5 or 6 years old.
okey.
Tapos
Hindi ka pa director nito?
yung
Hindi wala ka pa sa events nito kasi
kinder pa
bata ka
lang
pa,
ako
eh.
nun. Bata pa lang ako, I was working with brands already. Charot.
Ayun.
Hindi, pero ito yung brand's Essence of Chicken. Alam niyo yun? Yung nasa maliit na bote na
Okey. 'Pag may sakit
pampatalino
ka,
daw.
yun yung ibibigay sa'yo.
Oo, basta gano'n. Tapos my mom would always, make me drink that. Tapos hate na hate ko yun as a kid kasi lasa siyang ano, napag-iwanang tinola.
Radioactive tinola.
Oo, nakalimutan sa alaala yung tinola. So she'd always make me drink that. Tapos one night, nung gusto na niya ako uminom nun sa the rest of my vitamins, sobrang I really wanted to get out of it. So I pretended na inaantok ako. Tapos, so parang groggy-groggy ako doon sa sala, sa upuan, ganyan. Parang kunwari pumipikit-pikit na ako nanonood ng TV. And then, tinatawag ako ng mom ko, hindi ko pinapansin. Tapos dumaan yung pinsan ko sa likod ko. Tapos, binatukan niya ako. Kasing ginanon niya ako. Tapos sabi niya, huy, tawag ka ng mama mo. Uminom ka na ng vitamins, ganyan. So, nung binatukan niya ako ganun, diniretso ko yung pagbagsak ng ulo ko. Para kunwari, tulog na
Antok na
talaga. Alam
antok
mo
ka,
yun?
eh, oo.
Oo, di ba? Bata pa lang plastic na.
Bata pala artista na.
Artista na, oo. Kaya ako pinag-audition ng nanay ko, at that age, eh. So, dumiretso yung ulo ko ta's tumama siya dun sa kanto ng coffee table namin, salamin yun. So, tumama siyang gano'n.
Oh, no.
Tapos ayun, nagkasugat ako dito sa
Nabasag yung table?
hindi, yung noo ko yung nabasag.
Oh my Wait lang, bakit ang tigas nung mesa? Alam mo, yun kasi yung problema niyong mga mayayaman. Salamin yung table. Kung monoblock yan, eh di sana wala kang kinukuwento
Walang
ngayon.
kanto, oo, eh, di wala
Wala,
akong
smooth.
anecdote to share, mga gano'n.
So wait, so bumagsak
So
yung ulo mo dun sa glass, what happened?
yun, tapos pag-angat ng ulo ko, there was blood everywhere. So sabi ko lang sa mama ko na parang, "Mama, magdudugo yata yung ulo ko." Tapos like everyone was in a panic. I didn't understand why. Apparently, pumutok yun dito ko sa
Oh,
gitna. So they had
no.
to bring me to hospital, stitched it up, nilagyan parang ng plate to and everything. Tapos like I was bandaged for matagal eh, siguro a month,
Oh my gosh.
gano'n.
And all because of your traumatic experience with
With
brands.
with brands, oo. Nakasalanan ko din naman, I would like to own up to it. Kasi 'di ba puwede naman ako as a kid, puwede naman magmaktol na lang ako tapos parang, "Ayoko niyan." But hindi, I had to pretend.
Totoo. Or you could have done what I did, which is I would pretend to drink it tapos idudura ko na lang.
Magagalit yung nanay ko, mahal yun, eh, isang bote.
Totoo. But they say it's super
Hmm,
healthy. Do you
oo
still
nga.
feel the same way about it now? Yung brands or
Hindi
coffee
na,
table?
ah, yung coffee tables medyo takot pa rin ako. I think it was a trauma at that point. So,
Oh.
walang coffee table yung bahay namin ngayon.
Pwede naman mag-coffee table, wag lang salamin.
'Wag
Puwedeng,
salamin, oo.
yun nga monoblock,
Or lalagyan ko nung alam mo yung mga pambata na pang-baby proofing? Yun,
yes, yung parang foam na ano, pangkanto.
oo. Lalagyan ko ng gano'n. Pero ano, yung brands parang up until maybe elementary, high school, umiinom pa rin ako. Although hindi ko na siya nakikita now. Meron pa rin ba yun?
You'd have to get it sa Lazada. May
Oh,
may friend kasi ako na, shucks I forgot the third B, pero ang cure all niya sa mga sakit ay triple B,
hmm,
Bioflu, brands, and then one other B, I forgot.
Bona. Mi Bonamin.
Parang lalagnatin ka lalo sa bona.
Bonamin, yung panghilo-hilo, gano'n.
It's still available, mas mahirap na lang siyang hanapin ngayon.
Kasi hindi ko na nakikita nga sa suking drugstore yan ngayon.
Kung may message ka sa
Mm.
brands ngayon, ngayon na matanda ka na, what would you say?
Thank you for being part of my life forever.
What? Pero 'di ba usually kasi yung mga scars sa face, parang
Mm.
we assume na medyo bad boy ka ganyan like, na-aksidente ka sa motor ganyan. Is
Oo,
that
pero
ano,
is that what?
is that what people think when they see your scar?
Hindi. Kasi like the rest of the face doesn't scream bad boy. So alam nilang tanga lang talaga ako.
Oh, you're very
Charot.
clumsy in real life.
I am. I mean, we've seen each other in real life. I probably tripped once pag kasama kita. Like, hindi ko na maalala.
Very ano ka kasi, creative kaya yung balance mo wala masyado.
Yung utak ko nasa creativity, wala sa motor
Oo.
skills. No?
Gusto mo yung BP apologist ako. Hindi mo fault 'yan, oo. It's just you're too creative, ganyan.
Mm.
Okay, well, as a
Ah,
podcaster, I'm
mm,
sure that you listen to your fair share of podcasts. So,
mm.
without preparing, can you open your Spotify app and show us the last 3 shows you listened to in a segment we call Spotify Reveal?
Ang taray. Oh. Ang taray
Ayan,
nito. May,
bawal
may
mag-edit
ano,
ha.
oo, may segment bumper. Charot.
Of
Um,
course.
sige. Well, ito, binuksan ko na. Siyempre, yung top two shows ko, Tsaastrology sa The Shippers.
Love your own, syempre.
Love your own, oo. Pero yung unang podcast na pinapakinggan ko is Today Explained ng Vox.
Okay.
Um, it's kind of like their other materials sa YouTube, kanon, but in a more like deep dive way.
Parang yung mga explainers nila on YouTube pero
Oo.
longer yung format kasi
Longer
podcast.
ng konti, para mga nasa 20 plus minutes and
Sobrang seryoso naman pala nung pinapakinggan mo.
oh, hindi naman. Actually, ito yung pampatulog ko.
Ayun.
Ito yung white noise ko. Kasi nag-start yun dati. Alam mo yung mga How Did They Do It or yung mga ano yung mga Discovery Channel shows before or National
Oo,
Geographic, 'di ba? Or ano yun, yung How It's Made, ayun.
correct.
Ganun yung mga binibinge ko sa YouTube.
Or
Ah,
yung mga Japan video topics, 'di ba? Meron din yan.
mga ganyan. Tapos yun yung mga pampatulog ko. And then, parang nung medyo na-exhaust ko na yun, I turned to Vox.
Hmm.
Tapos, nung medyo na-exhaust ko na rin yung videos nila, naghanap ako ng podcast.
I didn't know
Saka,
na may pod. So, magandang
yeah.
ano yan, magandang reco yan.
Yeah, and they update frequently, like almost every day pa nga.
Wow. So,
So,
pwedeng hindi umulit-ulit, pampatulog mo.
and ano siya, mas madaling makatulog kasi you don't mind the visuals anymore.
Pero maganda, it is a part of like the Vox, 'di ba? Vocabulary, yung smart infographics na very sharp
Oo.
looking. But if you take all of that, it's still well researched, it's still well written. So,
Yeah,
good.
true. Saka 'di ba, you never know, minsan parang may random factoid ka na lang na maalala and you heard it from the podcast,
Maisingit
'di
mo
ba?
sa The Shippers.
Sa shippers, gano'n, oo.
Okay, what about show number 2?
Okay, show number two, well, hindi ko sila super frequent, but I love them and whenever I have like the time, dun ako nakikinig and like I catch up talaga. Ito yung ano ko, pinapakinggan ko usually kapag gumagawa ng chores, naghugas ng pinggan,
Mm.
nagluluto, lalaba, ganyan. It's Wake Up with Jim and Sab.
Aw, classic yan
Yeah.
syempre. And I think
Mm.
nag-guest kayo diyan, right?
Yes.
What was that like?
Super, super fun. Like, nung una parang kinakabahan pa kami kasi it's like meeting your idols, right? But once you get to talk to them, they're really, really nice people.
Mm.
Sarap nilang kakwentuhan in recording and even out of it, like before and after. Tapos, there was one time we guested also again for Ang Ganda Academy Awards naman na sila ulit yung host.
Mm.
Tapos, before we started recording, parang they were setting up pa, pero nagchichikahan na kami. Tapos parang, oh, they're just like us. Or we're just like
Aw,
them. Ganon.
they're normal
So nice.
people.
And sobrang ano rin naman, parang aspirational levels ang Jim and Sab, diba? They're
Totoo.
so good at this.
They are the favorite podcast of many podcasters, and they're also
Mm.
when you ask people what was the first podcast you listened to, most likely it was ano it was them eh. So
Diba?
fun. Show
Yeah.
number three. Tell us about
Okay.
show number three.
Show number three is a bunk show na medyo recently binibinge ko.
Okay.
Kasi, um, ang explanation ko dito is I've gotten so much into K-pop and like Korean stuff and
Okay.
culture. So when they joined Bunk then parang I started listening to them more and more, and it's One to Sarang.
Ayan!
Oo.
One of our newest.
Yes, sila Monica Pia and Trency. So yun, it's ano lang, parang dati yung ibang bunk shows na Korean topics, pinapakinggan ko din naman. But
Mm.
parang yun, when they started joining bunk, parang, oh, more things to listen to. Yun. So,
Ayan, so those are would you be would it be safe to say you recommend these three shows to anyone
of
looking for a great show to listen to?
of course, like, you know, one is like Vox is educational, Jim and Sab is very entertaining and like comforting, and you learn a lot too. And then One to Sarang is just hella fun and funny also.
Aw.
So, sarap niya pakinggan. So yes, 10 over
Ayan.
10. Oh,
Okay, I have one more thing for you before we end. Are you ready
okay.
to take the Eto o Eto challenge?
May challenge.
At make title card.
'Di ba? Antaray. Antaray na may title card. At may
Okay.
challenge. Oh.
So, wala ka naman choice, nandito ka na. Pero, you will have 30 seconds to answer as many of these questions as you can. And since you are our first guest ever, you will hold the most number of questions answered. And then everyone after you will try to beat your record. So,
May challenge talaga.
oo, kailangan galingan mo para ano, ikaw yung title holder forever. Hahaba yung airtime.
Hindi pa naman ako super decisive person.
Kaya yan. From Tito Boy to City Boy, we can do this. Okay, so I will give you 30 seconds on the
Okay.
clock. Okay?
Okay.
Ready? Starts now. Day or night?
Night.
Sinigang or adobo?
Adobo.
Single or in a relationship?
Single.
Night out or stay at home?
Stay at home.
Coffee or alcohol?
Coffee.
Fine dining or street food?
Street food.
Watch a vlog or listen to a podcast?
Listen to a podcast, syempre.
Gifts, giving or receiving?
Giving.
Be rich or be loved?
Be rich.
Sakto yung
Nahirapan ako doon, pero nakita ko like 2 seconds na lang left. So, rich na lang.
natigilan ka dun sa be rich or be loved. So,
Oo.
you have you were able to answer 9 out of the 30 questions. Congratulations. This is our first episode, so ikaw ang title holder. And let's see how
Yay.
long you can hold on to this.
One episode.
One episode. Yung next do makaka-10 na. Okay,
Mm.
now I'm sure
Sure.
I'm sure our washing machine, I'm sure our listeners would love to listen to your show. So before we go, could you plug your shows for us?
Sure. Yan din naman yung ginagawa ko sa shows ko. So, isang spiel na lang yan. So,
Ayan.
diba? Ako nga pala si Astrologer Virgo na si VP of at Astrology, and you can syempre look for us on Spotify at Astrology, or just look for Astrology, and you can follow us on our socials at Astrology. Then you can also watch us on YouTube and TikTok, yung mga snippets namin are there. Then for the shippers naman, if you want more BL or LGBTQ content, where we talk about LGBTQ content, diba? There's the shippers, or you can look for the shippers PH. I think easier to find it there. We are at the shippers PH naman on social media. So that's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and at shippers PH. Walang the sa TikTok. Kasi taken na.
Oo, taken na.
Buti pa nga yun, taken na eh.
Ano ka ba? Kakasabi mo lang 'di ba that ano yung choice mo, you would rather be rich than be
Or
loved.
be
So, okay
loved.
na 'yan.
I instantly regret that decision.
Okay, well, thank you so much, VP, for joining us. This has been Neil and VP for Bunk Book, a Bunk original show. Please follow Bunk's socials. We are at the Bunk PH on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And please let us know who you'd like to feature, who you'd like us to feature next by using hashtag Bunk Book. And please join us next time when we get to know the podcaster behind your favorite show here on Bunk Book. Oh, yeah.
Yay!